Post got out about what Obama was secretly stealing the whole time he was in office. Now we know how former President Barack Hussein Obama went into the office of the president being worth $1.8 million and came out with a net worth of over $13 million. Quite the feat considering the annual salary of an American president is around $400,000. Last week shareholders of the crumbling Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac finally have the proof they needed to prove in a court of law as to how exactly the Obama administration stole billions of dollars of their profits earned by the government-sponsored entities. The red flag was actually found when the 2013 fiscal year numbers were analyzed and multiple discrepancies popped up. Infowars.com has acquired documents showing that the Treasury Department's 2013 financial reports show the Obama administration knowingly diverted Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac funds into his pet project known as Obamacare. By the billions of dollars that his own Treasury Department confiscated from both these entities' earnings. If you examine the above chart closely, you notice that the GSE's non-entity costs, revenue, which is meant to record the flow of money into the U.S. Treasury of funds confiscated by the Obama administration and the NWS, recorded in 2012 as a cost to the Treasury of only $5.3 billion. This line item dramatically reverses in 2013 to reflect the NWS revenue inflow from the two government-sponsored entities, amounting in 2013 to a whopping $126 billion. Why the drastic increase? Newsmax reports. White House logs show visits by CGI official, classmate of Michelle Obama. Tony Towns Whitley, a college classmate of Michelle Obama and a senior executive at besieged Obamacare website contractor CGI Federal, has visited the White House several times for both personal and professional reasons. Towns Whitley visited the White House complex on 4 occasions earlier this year to meet with administration officials in her role as vice president for its CGI Federal, which secured a $678 million no-bid contract to build the Obamacare Exchange web portal. Towns Whitley, a Princeton University classmate of First Lady Michelle Obama, and her husband, John Whitley, who works as an engineer for CBS News, also attended a White House Christmas gathering together in 2010, posing for photos with the president and First Lady. The records from the White House visitors log show the CGI Federal vice president, who graduated from Princeton in 1985, the same year as Michelle Obama, had a deeper connection with federal business than simply a college connection to the First Lady. 3 of the afternoon meetings, held in the old Executive Office building, were scheduled in advance, and one, on Friday, April 26, was not. 3 of the meetings were held on Friday and one on Saturday. The records show Towns Whitley was alone in her visits. The first meeting was held on January 18. Towns Whitley met with Danny Werfel, a principal deputy commissioner on the Affordable Care Act, who was named acting director of the IRS in May. Records for that day show Towns Whitley arrived at the White House at 1:31 p.m. and left at 3:23 p.m. Towns Whitley visited again April 26, arriving at 3:43 p.m. and leaving at 4:27 p.m. She met with Jonathan McBride, who was at the time Special Assistant to the President and Deputy Director of the Presidential Personnel Office. McBride was promoted in July to Director of the Presidential Personnel Office. Towns Whitley met again with McBride on June 1, a Saturday, for about 5 hours, leaving the White House at around 7 p.m. On Friday, June 28, Towns Whitley met with John McNaught, an economics staff assistant. The White House logs do not indicate the reason for the visits. Towns Whitley joined CGI in May 2010, less than 2 months after President Barack Obama signed the Affordable Care Act. She serves as the lead of the company's civilian agency programs business unit for the Federal Group, according to a bio published on the CGI website. The unit serves 22 federal civilian agencies in the United States and 34 other countries. A CGI executive testified before an angry congressional committee last week about the website's significant technical problems, which have caused the registration delay for consumers seeking health insurance from federal exchanges. The White House has promised that the site will be fully functional by the end of November, although members of Congress are seeking a pause in the registration deadline until repairs are complete. Prior to her work at CGI, Towns-Whitley worked at Unisys Corporation as a vice president for the global public sector, system integration, and consulting. She also was a former Peace Corps volunteer in Central Africa, serving for 3 years from 1986 to 1989. According to Federal Election Commission records, Tony Towns-Whitley gave $500 in 2011 and 2012 to Obama's re-election campaign, and another $1,000 to the Obama Victory Fund. A story published by the Daily Caller on Monday said that while at Princeton, Michelle Obama and Towns-Whitley were both active in two Princeton University groups, the Organization of Black Unity and the Third World Center. They both now belong to the Association of Black Princeton Alumni. Michelle Obama served on the governing board of the Third World Center and was active in the Organization of Black Unity, according to a 2008 Boston Globe article. Although Michelle Obama had friends who were both black and white, her social world revolved around several of the black organizations on campus, as it did for many other black students, the Globe reported. Obama was a member of the Organization of Black Unity, a primary resource for black students on campus which arranged speakers and programs. These bastards needed the additional funding to pay off political favors and friends, line Barry Soetoro's pockets, and to fund the failed disaster that is Obama's signature piece of legislation, Obamacare. This is how the Obama administration was able to throw away close to $1 billion to First Lady Michelle Obama's longtime friend, Tony Towns-Whitley, to put together the Obamacare website in 2013, which turned out to be one of the worst program rollouts in history. These people need to be in prison. Thank you for watching. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.